Hello friends, what's up? This is your Techno. Today I will explain the security CC cameras buying at the mainly use cases of the what you need to know the security CC cameras and features of the security CC cameras and smart and the accessories and installation and recommendations. These are the main 6 topics are required to purchase any product. What do you need security camera? First question raise your in mind the why do you need security camera? Everyone would you love to have more security at home or the business, and security cameras is the best way to achieve that. Whoso may do it yourself DIY solutions available. And with the falling price, there are never been better time to invest the some peace of mind where you are just looking for a way for a more secure front door. Keep any eye on domestic help, people who have to access your home office, elders, parents, every young kids or your future babies, pets, internally and externally security camera solution existing for every need. Add to that, there is rise of digital voice assistant like Alexa and everything go online. We now have to the ability to see any connected cameras we want from anywhere in the world just by saying few words. We just use the monitor fixing the future of security camera. Now, second thought is raising your mind. The video believe explain all the various features that you should consider before buying a camera system in your home and shop or office.
Before buying. With hundreds of options available to you, it can get a little overwhelming. And it's the reason we are making this video. We are dividing this guide into software and hardware features. And we are going to look at hardware to begin with. There are several different mounted camera types available in the market, such as bullet cameras and dome cameras. Dome cameras are usually ceiling attached, containing moving parts and are more concealed and protected. Bullet cameras are easy to spot and may or may not have moving parts and can be mounted on walls and other hard-to-reach places as well. It's a lot harder to tell where a dome camera is pointed, and although it covers the same area as a bullet camera, it can act as a deterrent for a larger space. You don't need a dome camera to cover an exit or entrance. A bullet camera will do the job perfectly and is easier to mount as well. Another type of camera is the type that's kept on a shelf or a desk and is usually wireless. These are usually indoor cameras and have more features such as being Alexa enabled. Alexa, show me the living room, or being remote controlled. All cameras need power, and there are a few different ways they can be powered. Some are battery powered, and you would need to make sure they are charged regularly. Others might have a dedicated power connector, while some wired cameras might use power over Ethernet, usually called PoE, to have just a single cable that carries both power and signal from the camera to a base station that's located elsewhere in the house. Speaking of connectivity, both wireless and wired cameras are available, and which one you choose depends a lot on your needs and limitations. As we mentioned earlier, some cameras have storage inside the camera itself, so it's important to know how much storage such cameras support. It's not recommended to use such cameras in an outdoor setting, as a criminal could essentially wipe out all traces of him being there by stealing or destroying the camera itself. Networking is something you need to consider, especially if the cameras are wireless. Let's look at a simple chart that spells out what web storage various connection speeds can support. Just pause the video or take a screenshot now to save it as a ready reckoner. Resolution of the camera is usually the first thing everyone checks. And this is because a higher resolution camera will support zooming into details, such as seeing a license plate in the distance. Here is showing you the difference between a full HD and a 4K camera. Here's a chart to explain the difference between the popular resolutions and clarity at different distances. As you can see, resolution matters a lot. Field of view is an important aspect for cameras, as it defines how much of an area falls within the camera's line of sight. Wide-angle cameras are available that offer as much as 180 degrees coverage, and a few even offer full 360-degree coverage with multiple cameras built in. However, remember that there is still a sweet spot in the center that is the clearest, while the edges of the field of view tend to be a little stretched out. Most cameras offer between 85 and 110 degrees field of view. FOV limitations can be overcome by cameras that move and thus don't stretch images but still cover a large area with a normal lens. Some of these cameras have a follow functionality where the camera detects motion and follows the moving object, always keeping it in the center of the field of view. Many of these cameras also allow you to take control of their movement remotely via an app. Criminals often use the cover of darkness, and security cameras can easily circumvent that with night vision sensors. While a lot of security cameras have this capability, some even come with their own infrared LEDs in order to make a bright and clear night vision image that is capable of identifying thieves flawlessly. Next, the way the camera stores the footage it captures becomes important here. There's no point having four 8K cameras that store videos on the cloud if you don't have the required bandwidth. You're just going to get low quality video or no video at all stored on the cloud. Some cameras do not capture audio, but it's always good to be able to capture audio as well. The next step up from merely capturing audio is cameras which have inbuilt speakers, which are essentially useful for front door use. For example, to talk to people who ring your doorbell when you're not home. They can be used as a way of chasing away thieves who think the house is empty. It can also be used to talk to pets, for example, or even soothe a crying baby while a carer is busy preparing food, for example. Let's look at software next. If you're looking for a smart solution, you're going to want to see if it's compatible with digital assistants like Alexa, which allow you to use voice commands to monitor your security cameras. Alexa, hi the living room. If you want to be able to view your cameras remotely, you need to make sure the camera has an associated app for iOS or Android to give you this control. Motion detection is a very important feature because it saves a lot of storage space as the camera only turns on and records for a set period of time when it notices movement. It is pointless to have 8 hours of footage of your static living room or balcony while you're out of the house, when all you are interested in seeing is if anyone climbed into your balcony or moved through your room. Some cameras even alert you and send a still picture to your phone when they detect motion, which you can then choose to act on as you see fit. Talking about alerts, some camera systems have the ability to email or SMS you or send you an alert via push notification in their app. Remember, however, that while many companies offer this feature for free on purchase of their camera, it is often only for a limited time. There will be associated charges after a year or two to keep this feature working. Some cameras have inbuilt storage or have a base station that stores videos while others have cloud storage. This is fine if it gets stored to your cloud storage option. But if it stores to that company's servers, remember, there will be additional fees associated with it after a while. Thanks for watching our security camera guide. We hope we were able to help you get a clearer picture of what you need from your security camera. Remember to check out our DIY camera installation guide as well.
The smart. The Alexa advantage. Take a look at the advantages have to smart secure camera that can be controlled by Alexa and see how easy it is set up and used.
And its ability to streamline life of other smart home assistants such as Alexa integrate into multiple devices and make controlling your smart devices easy. You can monitor, control, and take action using a few simple and intuitive voice commands. Let's take a look at some of these commands. You can remotely check the live camera feed from any of your smart home security cameras that are connected to the internet and are set up to work with Alexa. Since the live camera feed requires a screen viewed on, we're using a smartphone for this part. Also, Alexa identifies each camera on the basis of the camera feed you have built during the installation and setup. The camera you're going to be accessing is called living room, since that's where it's situated. Say, Alexa, show me the living room. Alexa will open up the app or device and take you directly to the screen with the live feed of the requested camera, as long as it is connected to the internet and Alexa functionality is enabled. When you want to stop the live camera, you can ask Alexa to do the same. Say, Alexa, hide the living room. Viewing the live feed remotely may consume network bandwidth, so these smart home security cameras have an automatic cutoff point to stop the live feed after 10 minutes. If you wish to continue watching, you can ask Alexa to show you that particular security camera again. Smart home security cameras aren't just cameras. Some of them come with speakers and a screen built in, so you can do much more with them. Let's try out a few Alexa skills on this video. Say, Alexa, set an alarm for 2:15 p.m.
Alarm set for 2:15 p.m.
Alexa will set an alarm for the requested time. You can set this alarm to run periodically, say every day, and you can even use your favorite song or music genre as the alarm sound instead of the default alarm sound. Say, Alexa, set an alarm for 2:15 p.m. to smooth jazz.
Alarm set for 2:15 p.m. to smooth jazz, Rudy on Pandora music.
We've set a music genre in this case, and this is what you hear when the alarm goes off. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can make Alexa give the news. Alexa, give me the news.
From India Today.
Hello, here's the latest news from India today.
Maharashtra government writes to Mumbai police for a drug probe on Kangana Ranaut after actor Jain Suman claimed in an old interview that Kangana regularly
Add items to your to-do list. Alexa, add go to the gym to my to-do list.
I've added go to the gym to my to list.
Get the weather report. Alexa, what's the weather like?
Currently, in Delhi it's 32 degrees Celsius with clear skies.
Stream a podcast. Alexa, resume my podcast.
Okay, here's services. From June, episode 560, Cock and Bull featuring Vinod Thakur, and Antec.
We warn you, tread carefully. Or simply listen to music and relax. Alexa, play some smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz from Geo Sawan. Yes.
Your smart home security camera is much more versatile thanks to Alexa, and the camera manufacturer can add more features over the default ones. So make sure to go through the user manual to understand all the Alexa enabled features that your device is capable of.
The next step is the camera accessories. The next step is the camera accessories. If you have home user setting up to simple wireless camera up to probably you don't need to worry about the most of this. However, more professional camera setup and large distances of commercial permissions might need additional accessories. This is the list of most common accessories of multiple camera setup for the looks for DIY projects. DVR or NVR boxes, the digital video recorder DVRs, the networking video recorder is the NVRs, are the boxes that store all the footage of your camera's capturing within the hard disk drive belongs to cameras connected to the DVR while digital internet protocol IP is the camera connected to an NVR. Most kit of the comes with those boxes then, but if you are mixing and matching of the cameras and box to build your customer setup, and remember to get box with a few more inputs for the camera than you need to right now. The lights. Many security cameras fall and identify people only because the different grounds and the background lighting and shadows, lack of natural lights, and generally being too dark. This means very lighting plays an important role. If your civilization particular area, you want that area to be as brightly and even little with the few dark spots possible. This is so that the camera can easily pick up details such as a facial features or license plates or any identification possible that will you help knob crack, such as to photos, t-shirts, slogans, and caps discussing features extra. This is the compels by installing lights, both visible lights as well as infrared, depending on the area you are protecting and the where there is day or night. The power supply of this camera is another step. A good power supply for camera system is the important power supply inside of the PC. This is because steady supply with a clean power and no fluctuation goes too long way towards safeguarding your camera and ensuring that lasting time. Most of power supplies for cameras are comes with the individual connectors for cameras, just as with a DVR. Make sure get a power supply capability of the powering a few more cameras than you actually need. Another option of this camera accessories is the cabling. Depending on your camera system, you might need extra cabling if the length of cabling provided with the system is not enough to if you are dividing and the setting of the customized systems. Most commonly CCTV's cabling has the three compartments are available: audio, video, and power. It is the which normally cable don't have. There are also two-in-one cabling options available for camera system that have no sound. For camera system that have connected with the cable LAN cable, you will get two options: either run two cables or LAN and power, or use power over Ethernet, PoE, injector and splitter combined the able to run single cable through the wall or room. The monitoring are used two ways of the one it is a public display and live output camera feeds no order act as a deterrent would you be thieves, and the second is connected to the system where you some can monitoring of the feeds. For public displays, the monitoring need to be large and clear visible, and the option people use cheap LCDs, TVs or purpose. For private monitoring systems usually located close the DVR and PCR MUX devices. This PC monitors would do better job as it is made for the view from the close. The MUX of the software is the another option accessories. In these days, along the camera, multiplex MUX was needed to display multiplex images for many along cameras. Now, with the properly digital cameras multiplexing done to software usually running PC or directly DVR boxes. If these features is supported, the advantage of VideoMax is that you can display and watch multiple video streaming at once. You have to either camera system and need to be able to watch all 8 cameras simultaneously. Then you will need to mux hardware for along to software digital that you capable of doing this. The Wi-Fi extenders. When using wireless cameras, you need to make sure all the getting good signal strength and show that they have can send proper screen resolution signals back over your wireless network. One way to boost signing from the your routers, all the different parts of your how it use Wi-Fi range extended. The microphones of this cameras. So in case of you use camera monitoring specify area in home or office, but camera itself has to be placed far away from this, not going to pick up any audio. For example, if you are monitoring your building gate and with the camera has to be placed on the second floor balcony, the camera will not be able to pick up audio from the someone at the gate. In such a case, you might want to install microphone at the gate and mix into the camera signal. Instead of you can find both wireless and wired microphones that will you serve this unique purpose of the sale on Amazon is if these accessories are available. The mounting hardware of this most requirement of this camera accessories. Not at all cameras come with the mounting hardware, while most of kits come with everything you need. Installation of camera on wall or ceiling if you are mixing and matching hardware. DIY projects you might need both pockets of your cameras. Make sure you pay attention of the mounting screws and loaded bearing and capacity of the mounting hardware you buy. After that, the storage of the recording DVRs and NVR, it is the racks are required. This for the home commercial users, you need to be able to protect your DVR and keeping up from being tampered with the rack box available for the purpose which will allow you not just a mount of the DVR on board. If you exiting server room but also to lock it up, prevent unauthorized access to the enclosure of these cameras. The another accessories. So sometimes you have to need away from the protective or expensive cameras. This is the why should put them into the enclosure that prevent crack from the directly accessories of the camera, but still leave a gap for the lens to have to clear you and the permits of part this. Also, you permit parts of this. You also get outdoor enclosures, protect joints and wires from the weather, especially rain enclosures of all the sensitive equipments in the camera setup. The another option of this CC cameras and security cameras, closed circuit cameras, the final option is the installation. The camera installation guide. In the session, we walk you through setup process, both individual and wireless Wi-Fi cameras as well as the wired camera system to show you just how easy it became a product your loved ones setting up the Wi-Fi wireless cameras.
Wireless smart CCTV camera. These are usually compact and great for each. We are adding a brand new smart CCTV camera to our account. In this case, it takes home security. The app will now ask you if the red light is blinking on your CCTV camera. There, in this video, we are going to help you set up your wireless smart CCTV camera. These are usually compact and great for each applications. Hey there, in this video, we are going to help you set up a wireless smart home security camera. These are usually compact and great for eco applications. We have all the necessary things for the setup process in front of us. Please read the instruction manual and all safety documents that have been provided in the packaging. with a bandwidth that's greater than 2 to 4 Mbps for proper functioning of security cameras that rely on Wi-Fi. Also, your smartphone should have the latest iOS or Android OS for the apps to work properly. Please refer to the manual for the exact specifications. Start off by plugging the power adapter into a wall socket and connect the power plug into the socket for the smartphone security camera. There will be an LED indicator or an audio from the smartphone camera to show that it is powered.
Camera is ready for setup.
Now take your smartphone and open the camera app if it has a built-in QR code reading feature, or use any QR code reader to scan the QR code that's present in the Quick Start directory. You will see a link that will guide you to the appropriate app store to download the app for your smartphone security camera. Once downloaded, open the app. It will request for certain permissions which are necessary for proper functioning of the app. Please grant the same. You will now be presented with a login screen. You can either log in using your existing account or register a new account using your email or any of the single tap login options. You might be prompted to enter your mobile number and accept the terms and conditions before tapping on the submit button. The app will use your mobile number to send you an OTP, or it may send the same to your email address. Please find the same and enter it into the app to finish the registration process. Once the OTP has been verified, you will be asked to add a new device if there are none existing on your account. We are adding a brand new smartphone security camera to our account. In this case, it's home security. The app will now ask you if the red light is blinking on your security camera. See that it is, and so will tap on yes. Different cameras will have slightly different indicators. The next screen asks you to name the camera and add it to a collection for the sake of convenience. In this case, the collection is termed a living space. Once you do so, you'll be asked for a few additional permissions. Please accept the same. You will now be prompted to select a Wi-Fi network to connect to the device. Please tap on network and enter the password for the same. The app generates a QR code with all the setup instructions. This QR code has to be scanned by your security camera. Keep a smartphone screen in front of your security camera at a distance of 20 centimeters off. The security camera will give an audio tone when it has successfully scanned the QR code.
QR code scanned. Please wait.
In some cameras, the pairing happens automatically without the need to scan the QR code. The camera will now be added to your account, and you can place it at any of the suggested places shown in the app or indicated in the user manual for best results. If your device has support for Alexa, then you will usually be prompted to connect it at this juncture. Picking up your new device with Amazon Alexa allows you to use voice commands to control your camera. Once done, you will be given an opportunity to subscribe to a subscription plan for your security camera. If you wish to do the same, please tap on Activate Now. Your security camera is now set up. Your app will now take you to the home screen where you can access your security camera. You can view what your camera is seeing in real time using the app. Do it now. There are several features that can be toggled on the live screen. You can set an alert, switch off the speaker, take a photo of the correct scene, and unmute the microphone. Congratulations! You have successfully set up your smart home security camera. Place the camera in an appropriate location in your living space and enjoy some peace of mind. Hi there, we're back with another DIY installation guide. This time we are looking at wired security cameras, and whether you are installing the cameras yourself, are getting an electrician to help, or are using a system installer, you need to watch this video first, and it might save you hours or even days of your time and help ensure you don't damage your camera hardware. Once you have done planning everything, you can begin the installation process. In order to complete this task, you will need the cables that come with your camera system. Plenty of cable holders, loads of wall plugs and screws, wire cutters, a good screwdriver with an insulated grip, a hammer and pliers. You will also need generous amounts of insulation tape. So remember to have a roll or two handy. In order to attach the cameras to the walls, you will need a drill with masonry heads. A pair of gloves, safety goggles, and ear protectors are always recommended when using noisy tools such as a drill or a hammer. Take out and sort everything that you have received in your camera kit. Remember to read the user manual before you do anything else, as each brand and even each camera kit might have a unique installation procedure. A typical wired camera kit comes with your cameras. These can be bullet or dome cameras or both as per what you have ordered. You will also get a digital video recorder or DVR box, a power supply box, and of course all the cabling needed to connect your cameras to the DVR ports and the power supply. Some DVRs come with hard drives built in, while some need to have them installed. Your instruction manual will inform you of this. In the kit we have used for this video, we had to open the DVR box to install the hard drive, and it was pretty straightforward once we had read the manual. There's just a power connection and a data cable to connect, and the hard drive is held in place with screws at the bottom. Carefully mark out where you want to place the bullet cameras and mark the mounting holes with a pencil. Then drill holes on the marks, hammer in the wall plugs, and screw the cameras in place securely. Make sure the wire for the camera doesn't get fixed when you're tightening the screws. Most dome-type cameras actually disassemble so that you can fit the mounting bracket to the wall and then fasten the camera into the bracket once it's fitted. Read your instruction manual for how to disassemble and install them. Most wired security cameras or CCTV cameras, there usually is a single amplified cable. You get a single CCTV plus one cable that contains 3 power wires and 1 shielded pair for transferring data. In our kit, the wiring for power was red, yellow, and gray for the light, neutral, and ground respectively. The signal wire was a black shielded pair. You will need to refer to your installation manual to see how to wire your camera kit. If you are not comfortable handling power wires, we strongly urge you to call in an electrician to help you, or even use a system installer to do the whole installation and wiring process for you. Remember, run each wire to the power and the DVR box before you cut it to length. Always leave a extra at the end in case you have to cut and rewire later. Once everything is hooked up to the DVR, you're ready to power the system on. Connect the DVR to a monitor or TV using the connectors available. In our case, we use the monitor with an HDMI cable. Also use the mouse and keyboard as input devices. Power on the system and wait for the DVR to boot. Depending on the system, there will be a one-time setup procedure where you will need to set a password, security questions, and other login information. There is usually a setup wizard that will help you identify your cameras, check their output, and set up various options for them depending on how advanced a system you have purchased. Some systems will allow you to select recording times, motion detection, night vision options, and more. And most camera systems come with inbuilt video multiplexer, also called a MUX, which allows you to view camera feeds in various ways, all at once on a screen in smaller boxes, cycling between cameras, and even allowing you to set your own display options. And that's all it takes to install your own wired camera system. We hope you found this guide informative. Until next time, goodbye.
The last options of this security cameras recommended is top indoor security cameras. This is the first one. The top outdoor security cameras. This is the second option. Top 5 indoor security camera under 5,000. This is the third option. Please subscribe my TechDot channel. Please like my TechDot channel. Thanking you once again, your TechDot.